Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy English Click. Today we are going to learn how to talk about daily activities in English, especially your morning routine. This is one of the most important English-speaking topics because people use it in school, at work, in interviews, and in everyday conversations. So if you want to speak English naturally and confidently, this lesson is perfect for you. Make sure you watch until the end because today we also have a speaking challenge for you. Now let me ask you a simple question. If someone asks you, what do you do every morning? Can you answer quickly in English? Many English learners know vocabulary words, but when it is time to speak, they become nervous and confused. But don't worry. Today we are going to practice together step by step in very easy English. Let's imagine a student named Alex. Alex is a university student, and every morning he follows a simple routine. He usually wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning. First, he gets out of bed and stretches his body. Then he goes to the bathroom and brushes his teeth. After that, he takes a shower and gets dressed for university. Around 7:30, he has breakfast and drinks a cup of coffee. Finally, he leaves home and goes to university. Now let's learn some important vocabulary from Alex's story. The first phrase is wake up. Wake up means to stop sleeping. For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. The next phrase is get out of bed. This means leaving your bed after waking up. Example, she gets out of bed very quickly. Another important phrase is brush my teeth. This means cleaning your teeth with a toothbrush. Example, I brush my teeth before breakfast. Another useful expression is take a shower. This means washing your body. Example, he takes a shower every morning. Next we have get dressed. Get dressed means putting on your clothes. Example, I get dressed at 7:30. Finally, we have the phrase have breakfast. Example, they have breakfast together every morning. These are very common English expressions that native speakers use every day. Now let's learn how to make simple and natural English sentences. Native speakers usually talk about routines using the present simple tense. Listen carefully to these examples. I usually wake up at 7. Then I brush my teeth. After that, I take a shower. Finally, I leave home. Did you notice the connecting words? Words like then, after that, and finally make your English sound smooth and natural. Now it's time to practice speaking. Repeat these sentences after me. I wake up at 6:30. Then I wash my face. After that, I have breakfast. Finally, I go to work. Very good. The more you repeat, the more confident your English speaking will become. Remember, speaking English is like going to the gym. Practice every day and you will become stronger. Now let's listen to a short conversation between two friends. David says, "Hey Alex, what time do you wake up every morning?" Alex answers, "I usually wake up around 7 a.m. What about you?" David says, "I wake up at 6 because I go jogging before work." Alex replies, "Wow, that's early. What do you do after jogging?" David says, "I take a shower, eat breakfast, and then I go to the office." This is how real people speak in daily English conversations. Here's another important tip for you. Native speakers often speak fast and connect words together. For example, what do you do can sound like what do you do. Also, I am going to work often sounds like I'm gonna work. At first, this may sound difficult, but don't worry. The more English you listen to, the easier it becomes to understand natural pronunciation. Now I want you to do a small speaking challenge. Try to speak about your own morning routine in English. You can use easy sentences like, I wake up at, then I, after that, I, and finally I. Try speaking for 30 seconds without stopping. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak confidently and practice naturally. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is waiting for perfect English before speaking. But confident speakers improve because they practice every day. Even simple English is powerful when you use it confidently. So keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking. Before we finish this lesson, I want you to answer a question in the comments section. What is the first thing you do after waking up in the morning? Write your answer in English below. I love reading your comments and seeing your English improve every day. In the next section, we are going to learn how to talk about afternoon activities in English, including work, school, lunch breaks, and busy daily schedules like native speakers. So stay with Easy English Click, and let's continue improving your English together. After finishing his morning routine, Alex starts the busiest part of his day. He goes to university and attends his classes. Some classes are easy, but others are difficult and require a lot of attention. During the lesson, Alex listens carefully to the teacher, takes notes, and sometimes answers questions in front of the class. Even though he feels nervous sometimes, he still tries to practice speaking English with confidence. Around noon, Alex usually takes a lunch break with his classmates. They walk to the cafeteria, order food, and sit together while talking about their studies and daily life. Sometimes they discuss homework, and sometimes they simply joke and laugh together. Alex enjoys these moments because speaking with friends helps him improve his English naturally. Now let's learn some useful vocabulary for afternoon activities. One important phrase is attend class. Attend class means going to a lesson or lecture. Example: I attend English class every afternoon. Another useful phrase is take notes. This means writing important information while listening. Example: she takes notes during the lecture. We also have take a break, which means resting for a short time. Example: we take a short break after lunch. Another very common phrase is have lunch. Example: I usually have lunch at 1 o'clock. Native speakers also say grab lunch, which sounds more casual and natural. Example: let's grab lunch together. You can also use the phrase finish work or finish class. Example: he finishes class at 4 p.m. Now let's practice speaking with simple sentence patterns. Listen carefully. I attend classes in the afternoon. Then I study in the library. After that, I take a short break. Finally, I go back home. These sentences are easy, but they are very powerful in real English conversations. Native speakers often use casual expressions while talking about their busy day. For example, instead of saying, I am very busy, they say, I'm super busy today. Instead of saying, I eat lunch quickly, they may say, I grab lunch around noon. Learning these natural expressions can make your English sound more fluent and modern. Now let's listen to a short conversation between two students. Emma says, Hey Alex, how's your day going? Alex replies, Pretty busy. I have 2 more classes this afternoon. Emma says, Same here. I also need to finish a project before tomorrow. Alex answers, That sounds stressful. Do you want to grab lunch later? Emma replies, Sure, that sounds great. This is how everyday English conversations sound in real life. Notice that the sentences are short, simple, and natural. Many English learners think they need difficult grammar to sound fluent, but actually simple English is often the most effective. Now let's talk about pronunciation. Native speakers usually connect words together when they speak quickly. For example, going to often sounds like gonna. So instead of saying, I am going to study, many people say, I'm gonna study. Another example is want to, which often sounds like wanna. Native speakers say, I want to take a break. Listening to these expressions regularly will help you understand spoken English more easily. Here is another useful tip. When speaking about daily activities, try using time expressions. For example, in the afternoon, around noon, after lunch, and before class. These small details make your English sound more natural and detailed. Now it's your turn to practice. Try speaking about your own afternoon routine in English. You can use simple patterns like, I attend, then I, after that, I, and finally, I. Try speaking for at least 1 minute without stopping. Remember, confidence is more important than perfection. Many English learners are afraid of making mistakes, but mistakes are a normal part of learning. Every fluent English speaker once struggled with simple sentences too. The secret is consistent practice every single day. Before we continue to the next section, answer this question in the comments. What do you usually do in the afternoon? Do you study, work, exercise, or relax? Write your answer in English below. In the next part, we are going to learn how native speakers talk about evening routines, relaxing after work, spending time with friends, and daily life conversations in natural English. The next section will help your English sound even more realistic and fluent. After a long and busy day, Alex finally returns home in the evening. He feels tired, but his day is not completely finished yet. First, he changes his clothes and takes a few minutes to relax. Sometimes he lies down on the sofa and checks social media on his phone. Other times, he listens to music or watches videos online to reduce stress after university. Around 7 o'clock, Alex usually has dinner with his family. Sometimes they eat homemade food together and talk about their day. His mother asks him questions about university, and Alex shares funny stories about his classmates and teachers. These simple daily conversations are very important because they help people communicate naturally in English. Now let's learn some useful vocabulary for evening activities. One common word is relax. Relax means resting and feeling comfortable after work or study. Example: I like to relax after dinner. Another useful phrase is watch TV. Example: my father watches TV every evening. We also use the expression hang out, which means spending time with friends in a casual way. Example: I hang out with my friends on weekends. Another important phrase is cook dinner. Example: she cooks dinner for her family every night. You can also say go for a walk, which means walking outside for relaxation or exercise. Example: we go for a walk after dinner. These are very common expressions that native speakers use in daily conversations. After dinner, Alex usually studies English for 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes he practices grammar, and sometimes he watches English videos on YouTube. He knows that improving English takes time and consistency. Even when he feels tired, he still tries to learn something new every day. This habit slowly makes his English better and more natural. Now let's listen to a short evening conversation between two friends. David says, "Hey Alex, what are you doing tonight?" Alex replies, "I'm just relaxing at home." David says, "Sounds nice. I'm pretty tired today too." Alex answers, "Yeah, today was really busy." David says, "Do you want to watch a movie later?" Alex replies, "Sure, that sounds fun." Notice how simple and natural these sentences are. Native speakers often use short sentences in casual conversations. You do not need difficult grammar to sound fluent. Simple English spoken confidently is much more effective. Now let's learn some natural contractions that native speakers use every day. Instead of saying I am, people usually say I am. Instead of do not, they say don't. Instead of going to, they often say gonna. For example, I'm gonna watch a movie tonight. Learning these contractions will make your English sound smoother and more natural. Here's another useful tip. When speaking English, try adding emotions and feelings to your sentences. Instead of saying, I am tired, you can say, I'm exhausted. Instead of saying, I am happy, you can say, I'm really excited. These expressions make your English sound more alive and interesting. Sometimes funny situations happen during the evening, too. One night, Alex tried to cook dinner by himself, but he forgot about the food while watching YouTube videos. A few minutes later, he smelled something burning in the kitchen. The dinner was completely ruined, and his family laughed at him all night. Stories like this make conversations more fun and memorable. Now it's your turn to practice speaking. Try describing your evening routine in English. You can use sentences like, after work, then I, in the evening, and before sleeping, Try speaking continuously for 1 minute. Don't stop even if you make small mistakes. One of the best ways to improve your spoken English is by talking about your real daily life. When you practice real situations, your brain remembers the vocabulary more easily. This is why daily activity conversations are so powerful for English learners. Before we move to the next section, answer this question in the comments below. What do you usually do in the evening after dinner? Do you study, watch TV, play games, or spend time with your family? Write your answer in English and practice using full sentences. In the next section, you are going to learn how to describe your entire day fluently from morning until night, like a confident English speaker. This next part will help you connect all your ideas naturally and speak longer without feeling nervous. Now you have learned how to talk about your morning, afternoon, and evening activities separately. In this section, we are going to connect everything together so you can describe your whole day in English from start to finish like a confident speaker. This is a very important step because real fluency means being able to speak continuously without stopping and without translating in your mind. Let's bring everything together using Alex's full daily routine. In the morning, Alex wakes up at 7 a.m. He gets out of bed, brushes his teeth, takes a shower, and has breakfast. After that, he leaves home and goes to university. In the afternoon, he attends classes, takes notes, studies with friends, and has lunch at the cafeteria. In the evening, he returns home, relaxes, has dinner with his family, and studies English before going to bed. This is a complete natural daily routine in English. Now let's learn how to connect your ideas smoothly. Native speakers do not speak in separate sentences like robots. They use linking words to make their speech flow naturally. Some very important linking words are first, then, after that, later, next, and finally. These words help you organize your ideas clearly. For example, listen carefully to this full description. First, I wake up at 7 a.m. and get ready for the day. Then I take a shower and have breakfast. After that, I go to university and attend my classes. Later, I have lunch with my friends and study in the library. In the evening, I go back home, relax for a while, have dinner with my family, and finally I study English before going to bed. This is exactly how you should try to speak about your day. Now let's focus on fluency. Fluency does not mean speaking fast. It means speaking smoothly and clearly without long pauses. Even if your English is simple, you can still sound fluent if your sentences are connected properly. Let's practice another example together. I usually wake up early in the morning. First, I brush my teeth and take a shower. Then I get dressed and have breakfast. After that, I leave home and go to work or school. In the afternoon, I take a break and have lunch. Later, I continue my work or studies. In the evening, I return home and spend time with my family. Finally, I relax and go to sleep. Now imagine speaking this without stopping. That is the goal of fluency practice. Another important skill is using time expressions correctly. These help your listener understand your routine clearly. Some useful time expressions include in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, before work, after school, and before going to bed. These small phrases make a big difference in your English speaking. Now let's do a real-life speaking example. Imagine you are in an interview or meeting new friends. Someone asks you, "Can you tell me about your daily routine?" A fluent answer might sound like this. Sure, first, I wake up around 6:30 a.m. I start my day by brushing my teeth and taking a shower. Then I have a quick breakfast and go to work. I usually work in the morning and attend meetings. At lunchtime, I eat with my colleagues. In the afternoon, I continue working and finish my tasks. After work, I go home, relax, and have dinner. In the evening, I either watch TV or study English before sleeping. Notice how natural and smooth this sounds. You can use this structure in real conversations. Now here is a very important tip for improving fluency. Do not try to translate from your language into English. Instead, try to think in simple English sentences. Start with easy ideas like, I wake up, I go to work, I have lunch, and slowly build longer sentences. This habit will improve your speaking speed and confidence over time. Let's also practice a shadowing exercise. Repeat after me slowly. I wake up early. I have breakfast. I go to work. I take a break. I return home. I relax in the evening. I go to sleep at night. Repeat this several times until it feels natural. One more powerful technique is speaking about your real life every day. You can stand in front of a mirror or record your voice and describe your day. Even 2 to 3 minutes of daily practice can dramatically improve your speaking skills over time. Now I want you to try something important. Pause and describe your full day in English from morning to night. Don't worry about mistakes. Just try to connect your ideas using first, then, after that, and finally. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. Before we move to the final section, think about this question. Can you describe your entire day in English without stopping? If not yet, don't worry. You are already improving step by step. In the final section, we are going to learn advanced daily expressions and natural phrases that will make your English sound more like a native speaker. This is where your English level will go from basic to more confident and natural. Now you have learned how to talk about your morning, afternoon, evening, and even your full day in English. In this final section, we are going to upgrade your English with more natural expressions that native speakers use in real life. These phrases are simple, but they will make your English sound much more fluent, confident, and natural. Let's start with some very common daily expressions. Instead of always saying, I am tired, native speakers often say, I'm exhausted or I'm worn out. These expressions sound more natural and expressive. For example, after a long day, I'm exhausted. Another common expression is, I need a break. This is used when someone wants to rest. Example, I've been studying all day. I need a break. Now let's learn some real-life phrases that people use every day. One useful expression is, I'm running late. This means you are not on time. Example, sorry, I'm running late for class. Another very common phrase is, I'm in a hurry, which means you need to move quickly. Example, I can't talk now. I'm in a hurry. Native speakers also use informal expressions in daily life. For example, instead of saying, I'm very busy, they say, I'm packed with work, or I'm super busy today. Instead of saying, I am very hungry, they might say, I'm starving. These small changes make your English sound more natural and less textbook-like. Let's also learn some useful idioms related to daily life. One popular idiom is, hit the sack, which means to go to bed. Example, I'm really tired. I'm going to hit the sack. Another idiom is early bird, which describes someone who wakes up early. Example, my father is an early bird. And night owl describes someone who stays awake late. Example, I'm a night owl. I study at night. Now let's see how these expressions work in real conversations. Alex says, hey, how was your day? Emma replies, it was cray. I'm completely exhausted. I've been working all day. Alex says, same here. I'm starving. Let's grab something to eat. Emma replies, good idea. I need a break anyway. Notice how natural this sounds. These are short, simple, and very real English sentences. Now let's compare basic English with advanced natural English. This is very important for your improvement. Basic English. I am very tired. Natural English. I'm exhausted. Basic English. I am very busy. Natural English. I'm super busy today. Basic English. I am going to sleep. Natural English. I'm gonna hit the sack. As you can see, small changes can make a big difference in how fluent you sound. Now here's a very important tip for fluency. Do not memorize long grammar rules. Instead, learn phrases as whole expressions. For example, don't just learn run or late. Learn the full phrase, I'm running late. This will help you speak faster and more naturally. Let's do a quick speaking practice together. Repeat after me. I'm exhausted. I need a break. I'm running late. I'm super busy today. I'm starving. I'm gonna hit the sack. Very good. The more you repeat, the more natural these phrases will become in your speech. Now imagine you are talking to a friend after a long day. A natural conversation might sound like this. Alex says, hey, how's everything? Emma replies, honestly, I'm exhausted. Today was so busy. Alex says, same here. I'm starving. Want to grab dinner? Emma replies, yes, I need a break. This is real-life English. Simple, fast, and natural. Now here's your final speaking challenge. Try to speak about your daily life using some of the expressions you learned today. Use phrases like, I'm busy, I'm exhausted, I take a break, and I go to sleep. Try to speak for at least 2 minutes without stopping. Remember, fluency is not about perfect grammar. It is about expressing your ideas clearly and confidently. You have now completed all 5 sections of this lesson. From morning routines to advanced expressions, you now have everything you need to talk about your daily life in English. The most important step now is practice. Use these sentences every day in your real life. Speak, repeat, and think in English as much as possible. That is how you become fluent. Keep learning, keep practicing, and never stop improving your English with Easy English Click.